Illuminati asked how I would recommend warming up for a match, and what I do personally, I can only speak of that, is I do a little bit of aimbots just to kind of like get my reflexes going and feel like I'm a little warm. So I'll do like 10 minutes or like 1,000 bots equals around that. And after that, I will do 200, 300, 400 kills in deathmatch, depending on when I feel like I'm warm. And that would take me anywhere between 20 and 40 minutes, something like that. So a total of probably like 45 minutes to an hour of warm-up before an official match. That's how I do it at least. HBS asked me what were the first impression I had when I joined Astralis, and I had a great impression. I feel like I was taken, like had a warm welcome in the team, and a lot of fans wrote me, and a lot of Astralis fans were very nice to me, I feel like, on social media, and also like when I met them out in the real life. And obviously when I came into the organization for the first time, there were a lot of people welcoming me as well in there. So I just had a great start in the team, I feel like, socially, yeah. Vaz asked how I feel about the roster for 2022, and despite some rough showings in the past, like we haven't really lived up to what we want, I still have high hopes for this team, and I still have very high ambitions. My goal is the same, never change. I still want to be on the best team in the world, and that's my goals for this year.
What's the best event you ever been to? Best event I've ever been to, I think that depends whether you look at the stage or if you look at how it's been just for the players to be at the event. I would say that E-League were really good with players, but also if you look at like the stages, I would say that Katowice and Cologne is something special. Obviously there is the major, that is the number one, but I would say Katowice and Cologne is the two most prestigious events that you can win apart from the major.
Throw it now, they're gonna go through that. Kerrigan will get the benefit of it blooming, and now that distracts, and out comes Rain again. Two this time, maybe a third as he goes to the USP. The damage was there, and he shocks his head as well. Wow, okay, Rain, welcome to the server. Welcome to the game, 7 kills.
Chadwick asked, how does your team overcome the issues with having players from different regions and countries? What has always worked for FaZe is just being open-minded and trying to focus on small, like, not as advanced communication, I think. I think in the team we have now, it's very clear with everybody speaks very good English and everything, but I think in past situations we faced, it's been a little bit rough at times. So it's always been like clear comms, and have to be very, the calls have to be a little bit more minimalistic than what I think a national team has, you know. So I think that's the only problem we have, is communication sometimes gets a little bit out of hand. Question from Fitzy. What advice would you give to a team that is trying to go pro? I think what's very important nowadays is to either get into FPL or FPLC, especially if you're just a single player and when you want to become a professional. Other than that, if you're actually a full team, you have your guys playing, it's just sign up to every qualifier you can, you know, and try to qualify to whatever you can that makes you go to HLTD, for example, and get some exposure, or get into like some sort of league where you get a little bit of exposure and you can eventually qualify further into the bigger leagues, right? So I think it's a lot easier to become a professional now, to become noticed, than what it is 5 years ago, for example. I think there's very many different routes, like FPL and all the stuff you can take now. So I think just keep grinding. I think you can become pro eventually. Question from Sasu Van Berry. What do you do when you feel like you have plateaued? Personally, when I feel like I plateau, I need to take 1 or 2 days break to reflect a little bit. I like to actually rewatch old games, or also from new players as well, to get a sense of perspective of how the new meta is being played, how you have to play as an individual. And other than that, it's just trying to grind it out and play. And if you feel like you're at the plateau, I don't think it's good to grind like 140 hours for the past 2 weeks. Maybe for some players it'll be good, but I think for me personally, it'll just burn me out even quicker. So just try to get a vision of how to play the game in a different way.
Comes further forward before he's heard. Katowice, he's not yet aware of this. He's going to go for the bomb plant back, exposed. Nico's low. Blumen just clutched one back already in this game. Starts it off well. Nico's the one that killed Simple. Surely he has to be aware that he was up toward the position, and he certainly is. Calm, composed, and Blumen will make it 12-12.
Yoshi asked how we keep performing under pressure. You know, in our team we have 2 psychologists who are working with us, and you know, like it's like a real sport right now, because we are working like on mentality, psychologists, a lot of work on boot camp right now, like these 3 weeks for us. It was really hard because start of the season, after the vacation, and you can feel this pressure because after the previous results in the previous year, you should do your best right now at the start of the season, and you can't be like calm down, you know. So we feel some pressure, but we're working on it and trying to think only about our game and how we do the next wins on the tournaments.
Eight over the top is lovely. Oh, Liege eats a bullet. Nitro trying to cover from Con. Alexi, he can go back for the kit. He's picked it up. But a kill is Nitro's, and that's what we needed for Liquid to believe. A long way back.
All right, so Groove Rider is asking, what is my favorite thing about being in esports? My favorite thing is probably just feeding my competitive drive, because I feel like when I'm not playing tournaments, I'm just so bored of just like not doing anything. So coming back to Counter-Strike was like, that was one of the biggest things for me. Coming back to Counter-Strike was like just all the tournaments and stuff. Obviously the travel is like super intensive, but when I was in Valorant, like there was like not that many tournaments. Like there was like a tournament like every like 1 or 2 months. But in CS, like you're always looking for the next tournament, and I kind of like that. And I think that's probably my favorite thing about being in esports and just Counter-Strike in general, I'd say. So also Dunk is asking, what type of preparation do I put into matches, basically? And the main thing I like to do is I have like kind of steps I take when I prepare for teams, and I like to watch like, so for example, if I'm watching like a team on Inferno, I like to watch how they take banana. I like to watch how they move in the mid round, how they move in the late round. So I'll watch like a pretty good amount of demos on X team or Y team or whatever. And I kind of just go about that for every single map, I would say. And obviously, like with the vetoes, I'll talk within my team and we'll discuss like what maps we think it'll be, what maps we think it'll be come down to. But ultimately, I think it's more about focusing on ourselves and making sure that we have all of our stuff down before we even like think about the other team, because we can see something from the other team, or I can see something from the other team and be like, oh, we could do this, but have we practiced that? Probably not. And that would just be more of an anti-strat. And I feel like that's kind of a sign of weakness, but ultimately if you find something that, you know, like a team is doing and you're like, oh, we could do this strat against them, and then the team is all like, yeah, let's do it, like that's super easy. So I try to be like clear cut and concise about like how I'm showing my team like how the other team is playing and stuff. So and then obviously my coach Adrian helps with a lot of the prep as well, so it's not just me for sure. And I think even during the Grand Slam run, like we all had our own ways of preparing for the match, whether it's like just death matching more, you know, watching demos of how the other person on the team is playing against you during a default. There's just like a bunch of different things that you could do for prep. So those are my main ways for preparing.
Bot767 asked, what does it take to become a professional player? And the answer to that one is play a lot and get people around you that you like and enjoy playing with.
Modesty on catwalk finds the timing. 8 seconds. If he can drop the bomb, it'd be everything. But it travels into the site. 1-on-2 for Modesty now. It's sacrificial. Gives his position away. He wants Modesty's hand gone. But this man, oh, the Shepherd staff takes down the GOAT, and he takes Simple out of the round to give it to G2.
Facebook asked me, how do you feel to play in an international team? I'm feeling interesting. This is really amazing to play in an international team. It's something new for me, experience. They're all good players, they're all the best players. They did final majors as well, and I'm getting enjoy from it. Getting something new every day. CSGO HUB is the best map I've ever played. Thank you guys, I appreciate it.